acrobatics and what have you. Zion's story inspired a documentary film called Zion, which got attention at the 2018 Sundance Film Festival. You can look that up on Netflix when you get home. I encourage you all to check it out. He's appeared in outlets including Forbes, Men's Health. He was on The Ellen Show. He works as a motivational speaker, encouraging his audience to adapt to their individual circumstances and put in the hard work it takes to succeed. He comes to the annual Family Cafe to share his story of overcoming obstacles and challenges in life, discuss the many lessons his disability experience has taught him, and encourage everyone to be greater than whatever obstacles they face. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and welcome Zion up to the stage. There he is.
Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Next thing. How's everybody doing? There we go. Well, thanks for the introduction, my man. I really appreciate it. As I said, I'm Zion Clark. I'm from Massillon, Ohio. As you know, I'm a wrestler. I'm a high-level martial artist. I train with some of the best martial artists on the planet, beating them up a little bit too. So I've worked very hard to really get to this point in my life, you know, being mentioned in Forbes, being Men's Health. I'm a big advocate for mental health and a lot of things in this world, you know, to do a lot of good. But let me start with this. How many of you have suffered losses? But have you learned something from those losses? Because with every loss comes a learning moment. And with these learning moments, it helps us grow. Next thing. Our losses are a very big thing that makes us who we are. For instance, I'm known for being one of the best wrestlers in the United States over the last couple of years. Becoming an All-American for Kent State University, doing a lot of big things on the high school level. Now I'm setting my eyes on the Olympic level, UFC, Bellator, one championship, because I've really developed a skill. But guess what? You know how many times I lost before I even won one match? I lost over 200 times in a row over a span of about 5-10 years before I won one match. But guess what? That one match is what, you know, all those losses goes into that one match that you win, and after that first win, you're like, okay, now this is what I am here to do, this is what I need to do, this is what I know what I can do. And the thing about this, one of my coaches that introduced me into the sport when I was younger, he said, you never lose, you only learn. If you look at your failures as legit losses and you don't take anything away from them, you're not doing it right. You need to learn from your mistakes, from your failures, from your mishaps, from your mess-ups. And that's what makes us who we are. Another thing. Who here has ever thought about giving up? And you can be honest, because I have to. So that's a question. So be real with yourselves, be honest. If you've ever thought about giving up at least once or twice in your life, raise your hand. All right, me too. So check this. I went through the foster care system, and I experienced a lot of different things throughout the first 17 years of my life, where, you know, I didn't know how life was going to go. I didn't know what was going to happen. And on top of that, you know, I'm this kid with no legs, with no family, and didn't have absolutely anybody to look to. And you just think like, okay, maybe I'm not meant to be here. Maybe I'm not worthy of having a family. Maybe I'm not worthy of having any success. So I almost gave up. But the thing about that is when you have a support system and you have people that truly care about you, whether they're family, whether they're not family, it could be a teacher, it could be a friend, it could be a cousin. It could be a random stranger on the street. You know, you never know who is actually gunning for you. And so throughout all the struggle I was having as I was growing up, I had people in my corner, whether I knew it or not, that were always gunning for me to propel me to that next stage. Now, fast forward. Sorry, no legs. I got to sit down and look at my notes sometimes. But that's what brings me to my next point, is to not go through things alone. For a long time, I was always just trying to figure things out myself. And for a while, even after I had a little bit of success, I was going through everything by myself, wrestling, track and field, just trying to figure it out by myself. Because like, okay, I'm okay at these things. I'm okay at these things. But as soon as I had that support system and I wasn't alone, guess what? I went from being just an okay track athlete to being a multiple-time state champ, national champ, world trials qualifier. Like, there's a lot of things. And ever since then, with my support group, I've constantly been one of the top 100-meter sprinters in the country. So it's the support system that you have is what's gonna bring your success to the absolute peak of what you wanna do. Next thing, never feel ashamed of who you are. You know when you're different, you know, there's a lot of different people in this room, a lot of different disabilities, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different races, a lot of different accents, a lot of different ways of thinking. Don't feel ashamed to be different. Where I grew up, I was the only kid in my entire city that had caudal regression syndrome, that had no legs. You know, so I'm going through the hallways. I'm the only kid in the wheelchair, and I'm always like looking up at everybody. And it was just, I felt weird, I felt out of place. But here's the thing. After a while, I learned it's not that I feel out of place, it's that other people around you need to accept you for who you are, and you need to accept you for who you are. Because when you accept yourself, life becomes easier, you become happier. You become more content. You become more passionate about the things that you really want to focus on. Because, having no legs, people will be like, oh, why don't you want to wear prosthetics? Because, man, I was born like this. I've been walking like this for a very long time. Why would I want to try to be part of what we call the norm? Nobody wants that. I mean, I don't. So why be normal when you could be better, be different? Different is always better. The most successful men and women, some of the most successful men and women throughout the history of just civilization in general, that their names are just immortalized forever. They didn't get to where they're at by being normal. They didn't get to where they're at by just taking the easy route. No, they took the hardest route. They suffered, they struggled. They probably suffered more losses than we could even imagine. There's always a backstory behind what makes us successful. I had the pleasure of talking to, you guys know who Super Bowl legend Ray Lewis is? I feel grateful to call him one of my friends. This man, I don't know if you know, but he's a wrestler like me. And he actually admitted to me, he said, Z, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm an NFL Hall of Famer, but I'm a better wrestler. And I was like, what? Coming from the most successful defensive player to ever play the game of football, and you hear I'm a wrestler, and I'm a better wrestler. And I was like, so how'd you even get there? He's like, because football, wrestling, it didn't matter what the sport was. I wasn't about to have anything. Ray Lewis, nobody really knows that this man almost didn't get into college. This man didn't even have the means to go anywhere, but he made it happen through all his struggling and suffering. Next thing you know, he has the golden jacket. That's the type of powerful stories that really resonate with me, because I come from humble beginnings too. Come from nothing. So here's the thing, if you're struggling right now, be grateful for it, because tomorrow's always a new day. My next point, life is not about what it's not about what you can't control and what you have and what you don't have. It's what is presented in front of you, and it's about what you can control. And what you can control about your own life is how you feel, how you think, how you act. Because, living in this world, it's been just, who agrees with me, the last 2 years have been nothing but chaos, so, yeah. And if I'm going to be honest, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when COVID-19 first hit the United States, within 48 hours, I lost every source of income that I was making in 48 hours. Went from traveling all around the country, all around the world, to sitting at home playing my PlayStation, which wasn't too bad, but it was more of like, wow, like, all right, what can I do right now? Because right now, over the entire planet has no control over what's happening, but what are we gonna do to stay strong, stay focused, and still keep that tunnel vision for what we have planned for our own futures? So I got up, started working with my boy Craig. By the way, over there, this guy's name's Craig Levinson. He's been working for me for 4 years, working with me for 4 years. He's been making all this magic happen. So show him some respect, please. But it's like, man, what can I do? What can I do? What do I have control of with my own life right now, where I can't even go out the house and go to McDonald's right now because they won't let me through the doors? It was really like, man, we need to do something, and we need to do something now. So I went back to the drawing board, and you know how we have Zoom, all these big apps have like popped up so we could stay very well connected. So when it's what you can control and what you can't control, I was still able to control that I could still use my voice to reach people, whether I was talking to you, or talking to you face to face or behind a screen. Because connection, when it comes to the world we live in, is absolutely the most important thing. Without connection, there's no success. Without two or more people, dream is only a dream. It doesn't become a reality. My mom always told me it takes a village, and my mom also told me it takes a vision, and it takes a plan. So another thing. I wanted to touch on this. It's been really hitting me lately. I've had a lot of kids, and people from the physically challenged or disabled community. I like the word physically challenged more. It's more acceptable to me. But I've had a lot of people come up to me and just say like, hey, how do you do it? How do you make this work for yourself? How do you have such a high level of success? And it's not that I have a high level of success. It's me and my team have a high level of success. You heard me? And the most important word out of all that isn't the word success, it's team. So no matter whether you're disabled, no matter if you're black, white, blue, brown, purple, green, pink, it don't matter. No matter what you are, success isn't about what you can physically do or what you can or can't do. Success is what do you find in your life that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel like you accomplished something? Because success is very different to every single different person in here. I bet success is different to you than it is to you or than it is to you. Success, it means so many different things. I thought I was the most successful guy, man. When I won my first wrestling match, I won it like by a hair, and I was on JV. I barely won it, and I'm up here on the mat, and I'm just like and but still, it gave me that feeling of confidence. You need to have confidence. Be confident in what you do. Be confident how you speak. Be confident how you move. Be confident how you act. Be confident how you feel about your own certain opinions. You know, the whole thing about us as a human race, we have the freedom to be opinionated on what we believe in. And my thing was, I believed that I could be a wrestler, even though most people thought I couldn't. I believed that I could be a track athlete, even though I only had 2 months to train in the sport before the final stage. I believed that I could make it to another level and propel myself to be running with the elites. And it's about what's up here. What's gonna break that mental capacity? Because I'm telling you right now, I've seen giants rise and I've seen giants fall in person, and shoot, I've knocked some of them off myself. Because sometimes they don't have that concrete foundation in their head that they're going to be successful and persevere through their challenges. Mental state is everything. Like you said, I worked with men's health pretty recently, and it's not just about men's health, it's about the mental health of everybody. Mental health is such a big thing that needs to be more focused on in our country, because right now, I'm just gonna say this, bullying, such a problem. Still, I see it all the time. We have people just standing over other people. You know, when I see someone standing over somebody else, I wanna go stand over them and tell them to back up. It needs to stop, because when you see someone getting bullied, you see someone being pressured or someone being pushed around, that is them attacking that person's mental state. They're trying to break you down. So in those situations, you look at them, you smile, you be like, hey, I hope you have a good day. Like, for real. You ever just said that to somebody and they're going crazy, and they just stop everything they're doing? They're like, what? Like, doesn't make sense to them, because kindness cures. So we need to work on mental health and keep ourselves together as a whole, because like things aren't gonna get better without us sticking together. And that's why not leave one print on the earth when you could leave hundreds of thousands of prints on the earth? Because it's not to me, it's not worth it to go do like things like speaking to you guys without a purpose, without leaving a print. You know, you guys ever walk on the beach and like you leave your footprints on the sand? Check this. I'm gonna leave you with something. You don't need to have legs to leave a footprint on this earth. I wanted to say thank you to you guys. This is such an amazing event. I hope to stick around, talk to a bunch of you. I don't know where I'm going to be posted up at. Man, thank you. It was such an awesome experience. Thanks for having me, guys.
We're going to try and do a little bit of Q&A, so let me find out if there are people out there in red coats with microphones. Yes? There. You got one, Star? All right, anybody will have questions, whatever, let's open it up, and we'll do a few minutes of Q&A, and then Zion will be able to talk to people on the side if we don't get through all the questions. So, Star, come on down and be my... Sorry, I'm making you work more. So, yeah. We got one guy way over here of course he's far away, so I'm getting you your workout here. Get those steps in. Here we go. Right over here.
Test. All right. Come on.
All right. Hey, Zion. I'm Malcolm, one of the members from Stand for Independence, and I gotta say, man, I love what you talked about. My question for you, my friend, would be for those that are in the disabilities community and feel like they're giving up and they don't have any hope and they want to pursue their dreams. What advice would you have for those that are in the special needs community?
My answer to that is, don't ever, you just can't relent. You can't release the hold that you have on life, because if you're here and you're breathing, you're already winning. Oh, no problem.
Get your hand up. We have one. Was there another one here? Okay, one more over here, and then we'll go here next.
My name is Michael Lincoln McCrate. I am a member of Proud Stand Up for Independence. And me and you got something in common. We're both foster kids. I grew up in the foster care system. So people who, what is your advice for people who want to quit and give up in the foster care system and is struggling with maybe being bullied or depression or anything like that?
I would say don't. And you know why? Over the last 3 years, I've been working with some of the biggest foster care organizations in the United States to bring everybody together so we can help every single kid from the time whether they're infants all the way up until they aged out and get all the help that they need. So don't give up. There is people working for your benefit as we speak right now.
Yes, hello. Wanted to say my daughter and I watched the Netflix documentary a few years ago when it came out. Just very wonderful, very inspirational. And I know that with your adoptive mother that the Lord was very prominent and everything in there. So I just wanted maybe you to talk a little bit about that, about how, was a lot of that strength, inner strength, did that come from your faith, and just expand on that a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you right now, my mom, she is super religious. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not the guy that goes to church every day. That's just me being real with myself. But at the same time, I am a God-fearing man. I do believe that Christ and God have definitely played a big part in developing my journey to where I'm at. Things wouldn't happen for all these things wouldn't happen for no reason. And one thing my mom always told me, and it sticks through my head, he said, God wouldn't put you through troubled waters if you couldn't swim. He said, God wouldn't put you through troubled waters if you couldn't swim. We'll get you next. Okay.
Good morning, Zion. My name is Tashara. Thank you so much for your talk. Really appreciate that. So I have a weekly podcast, and on one of the episodes, I talked about embracing the L, which is basically embracing the losses that we have in our life. And I wanted to know from you, do you recall the moment in when you were actually able to make that shift? Because for me, it took a while for me to be able to take that, embracing my own L, being vision loss and other things. So I just wanted to know from you, do you recall the moment where you were able to do that?
Oh, absolutely, and I will never forget it. I was in high school. It was my senior year of high school. I just spent the last 10 years losing nonstop. And so, every single loss is burned into my head. I'm thinking man, I'm a real loser, And if I'm gonna be honest, that's when you lose that much, sometimes your mind gets ahead of itself. But then at the same time, I kept pressing because man, I really suck at wrestling, so I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working. I remember there was this one tournament where I had lost every match, but I hit this one move, and I almost won. And then that following season, I went through that same exact tournament. You ever played a video game and you're playing with your friends and they get mad that you're pressing the spam button? Oh, yeah, I went and hit the same move on everybody.
from like the first match all the way to my first place match, winning out the tournament. And it was just an absolute incredible feeling. And after that, the sky was the limit.
My name is James, and I have cerebral palsy. My mom gave me out when I was 6 weeks, and then I have cerebral palsy, and I was born with weak legs, and I have been walking in a walker my whole entire life, and so I've been doing jiu-jitsu. It's a really good sport, and I just wanted you to hear that, Zion.
That is awesome. I don't know if you guys heard him, but he said so I'm a wrestler. Like I'm a wrestler. I'm dubbed a master class martial artist. This kid right here is in jiu-jitsu. That's amazing. Good job.
So, my question for you, Zion, is my son Jackson is autistic. This year we had a really hard year. I got phone calls saying he's been thrown against a fence, thrown on the ground, his lunch is being stolen every day. Jackson is one of the biggest heart kids. He doesn't care who you are. He's gonna love you regardless how mean you are. As a parent, what advice could you give us for bullying and to deal with bullying?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I was a kid. I got bullied a fair share too. Not that it's a hard question, but it's more about we have to like contacting the school and the system on maybe helping them set up like an organization in classes or extracurricular things that honestly bring the kids together that don't like each other, make them work together. You know, when I was in high school, we had like a really big bullying problem, and we just took like a whole bunch of like sticky notes and threw them in the hallways, and then we had to find whose ever sticky note it was. And then after that, we had to tell each other like a thing about ourselves. Next thing you know, you're making new friends.
Hello, Zion. Good morning. I wanted to ask you, what difference do you feel that it made in your life once you got adopted? Like, because I'm sure you got support from your coaches, but now you had a mom in your life. How was that?
Oh, just the difference in everything. You know, going up through the system, it was more so like I didn't have anybody. Like I didn't really have any friends or families. I was jumping from different school systems all the time, so I would make friends and then boom, they're gone. Just like that. I did that for 17 years. So when my mom finally picked me up, I was like finally solidified in an area, in a spot, and with a loving family. And honestly, I feel like that kind of played part into my success in my athletics. You know, all the way up until I got adopted, for my entire wrestling career since I was 6 years old, I had never had a family member ever show up until I was 18 at one of my wrestling matches, from the time that I started. So when she showed up, we wrestled our rivals, I beat this dude 15-0. If that answers your question.
Down over here on the right.
Hi, my name is Crystal Sims. I'm part of St. Lucie County. I'm part of Sufi, Standing Up for Independence. The question is, how long did you do wrestling?
Shoot, I've been a wrestler a very long time, so. I'm going into my 19th year this year.
Thank you, because my brother, when he passed away, it was like 3 years when he had stage 4 liver cancer.
Hey, Zion. In addition to being a really amazing human, you're also very easy on the eyes. And
Oh,
so
no.
I know
I'm sorry. I
I'm probably not the only female in here that's kind of curious if you're single, if you're willing to discuss that.
We got love connection
Well.
up here. Love connection.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I do have a very beautiful girlfriend. So.
There's a couple in the back, Joe.
All right. I have a question over here for Heather. This question is from Heather. She wants to know, what advice do you have for people with disabilities starting their journey in martial arts with able-bodied people?
I would say, full send that crap. Seriously, I was that kid. I used to be like 90 to 100 pounds, like going up against guys that were like 130 pounds or more. And I would just get my butt kicked all the time. But guess what? If you actually love being a martial artist, that shouldn't matter. Just go for it. Have fun. Seriously. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I wasn't having fun.
As young clock is Zachary. I am 23 years old. Okay, question. How do you know you could be a great wrestler?
How did you know you could be a great wrestler?
I didn't. It wasn't like I woke up one day, it's like I'm gonna be a legendary great wrestler. No, I just worked up. It's like I have friends on my team. I really appreciate my coaches, and I have a love for the sport. Whether I win or lost, like whether I would win or lose, I was just happy. And eventually, I started to develop skill. And then, next thing you know, I'm at the final stage of high school and top level of college at the national championship. So, yeah.
Hi, Zion. My question for you, and if it's too personal, you don't have to answer. You said you were given up at birth. Since you've become famous, have your biological mom or father reached out to you, and do you have siblings? Your biological siblings, have they reached out to you as well?
So the first question, the answer is no. Second question, I have 4 biological sisters, and I love all of them.
Over here? Okay, go ahead. Hold on one
Way
second.
down the left.
Zion, I would like to thank you for your book, Zion Unmatched, and I have a book to give you. I'd like to give you this book.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Zion, I got another great question for you. Who would you say are your biggest role models in your life?
Man, if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't grow up having role models for the most part. It was more so me versus me. And now if I had to choose when it came to my athletics, I would say my coach, his name is Gil Donahue. His whole family is the reason that I became a wrestler, man. I was 6 years old, gave me a flyer for the sport. Next thing you know, was my head coach in high school, helped me get into college for the sport. So I would say he's one of my role models.
Hey, Zion, you are a missing guy. And do you got teased a lot when you were in high school?
Did you hear that? Did you get teased a lot when you were in high school?
Oh, absolutely. I used to get called all sorts of names, from Gimpy to Lieutenant Dan to just the most ridiculous crap ever. But I just ignored it. You know, like when people are coming up to you and like telling you like stuff to really degrade you, it's probably because they got something going on that they ain't telling you. So I just was like, oh, you know, whatever. You just gotta let it go in one ear and right out the other.
Hi, my name is Susan Heck. I lost my mom and my dad. When I was so small, my mom died and my dad died.
Sorry to hear that.
'Cause 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 ' That's it.
Joe?
Hi, Zion. First and foremost, thank you so much for being here. My name's Evan Thornton. I have had several challenges with my disabilities, and through that have been told no a lot and have overcome every single one of those obstacles, and I'm proud to say that. I know there's a world of no's for disabilities a lot. What would your advice be to those challenges and really overcoming them?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that very well. Can you just say that again, please?
I've had several challenges within my life with my disability and have been told no a lot and overcome them. What would your advice be to those who have similar challenges and are told no a lot and overcome them?
Well, if somebody tells you no, do it anyways. You know, it's that, like, I swear, it's so simple. Like people would think that I would, like, they'd be like, oh, you can't pick somebody up and hit them with a double leg and take them down and hold them down. And I'd be like, watch this. It's seriously like somebody tells you no, prove them wrong. Not for them, not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself right.
State of Independence.
We're gonna write.
I've been in South Africa since 1970. I'm the mentor of the group, by the way. And I live on my own since 2000, when my mom passed away. You're real, true, inspirational. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Zion. So I just started track and field about a year ago, and I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about like your track and field journey and like what that kind of looked like for you getting started, because I am the only adaptive track athlete in my school.
Oh, cool. I was the only one coming from my school, too. Fun fact, I actually kind of set a whole new movement of adaptive sports by winning a few titles at my school. Now my high school has a basketball team, like wheelchair basketball, track and field, and we have a whole multitude of athletes now. But my journey, I was terrible, let me tell you that. Like, I couldn't keep my chair straight. My very first track meet, I'm going down the straightaway. I couldn't stop, so I smacked into my coach, took him off his feet. I had a very interesting journey to get to where I'm at. But it's all, you gotta be patient. That's what I learned with the sport of track. Track and field, everybody's like fast. But in all reality, it takes time to really like be sure of yourself and focus on your skill to get down the track efficiently and quickly. So just have fun, stay focused, you got this.
Way over here on the right. Go
Hi,
ahead.
thanks for sharing everything that you've shared today. You touched a little bit about the need for mental health care in really in our society overall. Can you touch a little bit more about what people with disabilities, with different abilities, can do for themselves, and what the families can do to advocate for themselves and really to have that strength to reach out for that help?
That all starts with the kids, like as the younger generation, we have to make it normal to them and let them know it's okay to open up. It's, as a kid, I wish I had somebody that like I could 100% trust and be like, hey, can I talk to you about something, without somebody thinking that I'm lying or somebody thinking that I'm just bullcrapping. It's really hard to like change the mental state of people older like me and you and a lot of the adults in here, but what we can do is for the younger generation is start now by letting them know it's okay to open up, because the more you don't open up, that's what causes a mental health problem.
Way over there on the left.
Good morning. You are an inspiration to me and many others. As a retired educator from Newark, New Jersey, after 27 years, you need to keep going and sharing your stories with many. Because when you have a disability, people think you're unable to do it, and that's not the case. You just need people to cheer you on and to be your cheerleader. And this morning, you're our cheerleader, so we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hola. Sion en español, Zion en inglés. My name is Lalita Tully. I'm a mother for the 2 kids, 2 boys with autism and Down syndrome. But I'm a family orientation. I try to give about my life, help other parents. So I need your permission to use these pictures in my classes.
Absolutely.
Okay, because this tattoo is real?
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
Okay, all right, no excuse. You give to us a big example today of the life. You know, you are inspiration to many parents here. With your life, we can take our kids, go. Son, you're amazing, okay?
Oh,
Thanks for coming.
Okay, thanks everybody. That's a great sentiment. Thank you, Maria. Zion has a quick video that we're going to show momentarily. Thanks everybody for your questions. I'm sure if you want to talk to Zion individually, he'll be able to do that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to share the video. We're going to give Zion a chance to move off the stage so we can talk to people, and then we'll start transitioning into our closing and door prizes after we watch the video. So let's, before we start the video, let's give Zion another big hand. Thanks for being here.
My name is Zion Clark. I'm a wrestler. I'm a Guinness World Record holder. I'm a professional track and field athlete, and I'm a motivational speaker.
Stay true to yourself. Stay true to your vision, because there's nobody else like you. So be different. Stand above the crowd. Be different.
The fact that you gotta just keep pushing forward. You gotta keep working hard. You gotta keep trusting the process.
Our next guest is gonna blow you away. He was born without legs due to a rare condition that affects his spine, but that has not stopped him from becoming a college wrestler and an inspiration to everyone who meets him. From Massillon, Ohio, please welcome Zion Clark and his mom, Kimberly.
When we first met Zion Clark, he was training for the Paralympics. Now the PB resident's using his strength to foster a cause very close to him. Julian Delgadio has an update on this neighborhood all-star.
The legends, they never die. To be a legend means to lead by example. You lead a crowd towards a goal that you all strive for together. I study the best guys in the world, and I compete against the best guys in the world. And now I'm gonna beat the best guys in the world, and that's just how I see it. To be a Guinness World Record title holder, I'm number 1.
Yeah, I pay attention.
Oh, it's crazy because I remember I was watching this years ago and they were talking about you on TV and they brought up wrestling and I was like, no way. Dude, you're a state champ.
Absolutely.
Wrestling.
Yeah, man.
Here,
I was
right?
like, he's on the same mission. We're on the same thing. He's doing the same thing, bro, inspiring people.
Yes, sir.
Right? You already know. Look at the crew. We finally connected. Yes, sir.
Do what you do best, and you know in life we have a motto. There are absolutely no excuses not to find the best you.
Yes, sir. I love you, buddy.
Absolutely, man.